Hi students, I hope you're doing well. Please be ready to take home notes on political systems. The objective for these notes is for you to know the different political systems of the world. And please be sure to copy all the notes from the following slides. Before we get into taking notes, I just want to remind you about our overall unit, America, Boom, Bust, and Recovery. Our significant concept is systems. Everything is connected to a system or systems. And another significant concept that we have is money makes the world go round. But what you will find out later on in this unit is that money and politics are often related to each other. I just want to skip down to what you will know for this part of the unit, and you will know what some of the political and economic systems are of the world, or what some of the political and economic systems of the world are. Okay? All right, so let's get started. First of all, I want to give you a definition of political system, or you probably already know the word government, okay? Government or political system is a political organization that attempts to maintain control of a state, okay? So the key words in this definition is maintain control of a state. Now, I bolded state because it's important for me to explain to you what is meant by state in this context. So a state is an independent territory, okay? The idea of a state and a country are usually thought of, excuse me, as the same. So also the state and the government. It's really important that you grasp this idea, that you understand the words and the vocabulary for this particular unit, okay? So you can think of Switzerland as a state, just as you think of Switzerland as a country, okay? The United States of America can be considered a state, but that is made up of smaller states, okay? So like the state of Massachusetts or the state of New York or the state of California, okay? So again, the idea of a state and a country, the country of Canada, are usually thought of as the same, okay? So I could say Canada is a state, and I can say Canada is a country. Politics is the study of decision-making power, okay, who's got it and who doesn't on a societal level, okay? So some of you, when you go off to university or college, might want to study political science, okay? So you would major in politics and study how decisions are made on a government level, okay? All right. So throughout history, there are many kinds of political systems that have developed in different areas of the world. These depend on the needs of the people, of the society, and the economic resources available. Okay? Again, if we think back to our original definition of political system, we're talking about maintaining control of a state, maintaining control of the needs of the people and the economic resources of that particular country. Okay? So before I move forward, please pause the video and just think about what are some different political systems that you've learned about throughout history. Okay, I do want to go through some of the political systems throughout history, okay? And I do not believe that these are things that you need to write down on your home notes, but it's important that we discuss them. So in Europe, as well as in parts of China, India, Africa, and South America, a system known as blank developed, okay? This was when one ruler had complete control. Do you think you know what should go in this box here? A system known as blank, and this is when you had one ruler have complete control. If you said monarchy, you're correct. Then in ancient Greece, the practice of blank has continued into the 21st century. Okay, begins with the D. The practice of democracy has continued into the 21st century. Both in Europe and Japan, blank had developed by the 1100s. Now, if you studied with Miss Tijuana, you studied this political system extensively, okay, in 6th grade. This political system is feudalism, okay. By the 1500s, blank had emerged, especially in Europe. Absolutism, okay, which is an offshoot of monarchy. Absolutism is when you have one absolute ruler. The Enlightenment, which was a rejection of absolutism, forced political changes in Europe, North America, and Western Asia. And in the 1850s, we saw the rapid spread of an anti-capitalist economic and political system called blank. And now this political system and economic system is present in some Latin American and Asian countries. And if you said communism, you're correct, okay? So again, here are just a couple of the different political systems that we can see throughout history and around the world. All right, it's time for you to pick up your pencil again and to take down some vocabulary words for our political systems. So blank is a political system in which a country is ruled by a king or queen who has absolute control. If you said absolute monarchy, you're correct. 2, a social, political, and economic system that dominated all aspects of medieval European life. Okay, serfs and knights exchanged loyalty, protection, and food for land or a fief from the king. Again, if you had feudalism, you are correct. Go ahead and write down those two. All right, blank is a political system in which a country is ruled by law, has representative government, and is democratic in nature. A republic, okay? A republic. Blank means rule by the people, a system of government in which the citizens hold the legislative, judicial, and executive power. Now, if you don't know what these words are, legislative, judicial, and executive, don't worry, we're going to go over them in the next home notes video. But democracy is the word that you need to write down. Okay, blank is a system of government where the legislative, judicial, and executive powers are held by directly or indirectly elected officials. Okay, so you have people to represent you. You elect people to represent you in the lawmaking bodies, in the judicial branch, and an executive branch of government. That's called representative democracy. Blank is a government's lawmaking or legislative body. Okay, this is Parliament. And blank, this is also more economic and political, but all property and work is shared for the benefit of the entire state. Now remember what is meant by state in this definition. We can also fill in the word country, okay, for the benefit of the entire country, not just the state or the canton or zoo, okay, but for the whole entire country of Switzerland. Okay, we can think like that. And these words are communism and socialism. All right. You should have to turn your home notes sheet over and you should see a chart like this. What I'd like to do right now is talk to you about two different perspectives on the role or the responsibility of government throughout time, okay? And as you see here, there's a special way that you can abbreviate government, okay? We're going to talk about the relationship between the ruler and the state, again, the relationship between the ruler and the country, and the right to govern or the right to rule. So we have two perspectives. When it comes to the relationship between the ruler and the state, one perspective said that the state and the people serve the king, okay? The other perspective says that the government, or the king in this example, protects the rights of the people and serves the citizens, okay, serves the people. The whole entire purpose or role of government is to protect the human rights of the people and to serve the people. Also part of that perspective is that people give up their rights for government protection from other people, okay? Again, in this unit, we're talking about systems and how things are connected to each other. So you'll see that protection, the economy, politics, society, they're all connected to each other. And this is another example of how some other perspective said, well, people give up their rights to the government in order to get protection from other people, okay, from other countries. When we're talking about the right to govern, so who gives who the right to rule over a state or make the major decisions or maintain that control over a particular group of people. In our first perspective, many people thought that the power comes from God, okay? And this term is called divine right. So you have the right to rule from God, And pretty much anybody could claim that, right? Say, well, God told me that I have the right to rule over this state. However, in our second perspective, a different perspective, many people believe that power to rule or the right to govern comes from the citizens. So the people choose who they want to rule over the country or who they want to protect them. Okay? All right, so we're at the end of the home notes. What I'd like for you to do is think about which perspective of government do you agree with most and why, and be ready to share that in class the next time I see you. Okay, again, when I'm talking about perspectives, I'm talking about perspective number 1 or perspective number 2. Which one do you agree with and why? All right, I hope you have a good day. See you next time. Bye-bye.